Hi guys, this tutorial is going to be about creating camera paths for animations. In particular, I'm going to focus on orbiting around an object. I'm going to teach you some basic ways to do it, and then I'm going to teach you some smooth orbiting techniques that I like to use myself. First of all, there's the typical way. So I'm going to top view. It's going to be the top of the building. Then I'm going to come over here to cameras, and I'm going to select target camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to set it target on the middle of my building. That way it focuses just on the middle of the building and orbits around that. From there, I'm going to go over here to one of these other windows, click cameras, camera 01, and as you can see now, it's kind of like the camera set up in the middle of a building, so I'll have to come back and select the target camera itself. I'll have to hit move. And I'll have to move the camera to a height where it's in a good position to video my building. As you see, that's pretty good right now, but I'd like to kind of get more of the building in the shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move away from the object more, and also move up on the object. Okay, so that gives me a good broad view of the building itself. From here, I'm going to try to set up the frame rate itself. So I'm going to click down here on the time configuration. Around here, I'm going to hit a good time that I usually use is about 500. It's about 15 seconds worth of animation, so that'll give you a good kind of idea of how things, or how generally to do it. So I set that, and then I'm going to start off with some traditional orbiting around. So I'm going to come here, hit auto key, and then I'm going to hit set keys to set my first scene key. Okay, and then from there you just move along to whatever frame you like the next set key to be at. So I'm going to pick, let's say, 100 as my next key. Okay, so I set that, and then from there I can come back over here. I'm going back over the top view. Real quick down here in this animation, and I'm going to kind of move around my camera again to the position I want it. Now, the 3ds Max with the auto key set on will automatically set where that next scene is, depending on where you stop with the camera. So that looks pretty good. I'm gonna set that at 100, and then I'm gonna come down here again. Let's try 300 this time. Set down there, and then move the camera once more over the object. Set up another view. And once again, 3ds Max sets the key. And come back over here to the end. Say, yeah, let's go down to 500. Come down to the end. Click it, and move down. And then that should be your scene itself. Now let's come in here to this view and play the scene and see how it turns out. As you can see, it's kind of choppy and not really the greatest focus. Kind of zooms in and out of the building itself. That's just kind of a freehand form of orbiting it. It kind of stops, starts again, stops, starts again. So to better build on that, kind of create more of a smoother orbiting around the building itself, I like to kind of set up path constraints, which you just attach the camera to, and it does it all its own. So let me come in here, select camera 1, and kind of delete that. That way it's no longer on there. I can start over again. Okay. For path constraints, what you want to do is you want to once again come over into your perspective area, your work area, and kind of focus on the building there. And then I'm going to pick come over here to create shape. I'm going to click on circle. I'm going to click in the center of the building once more. I'm kind of going to pull that circle out for as wide as I want it. As wide as I want that view to be. You might have to do this a couple times to kind of get the feel of how far out you want the camera to be when you're orbiting around that object. Next thing you want to do is you're going to have to move it, because right now it's on level 0 at the base here, and that's no good place for it. So kind of move it up about as high as you want it. Once again, you might have to try this a couple times. Just get the feel for how far away you want the target camera set. And then after that's done, you're going to go back over to cameras, target camera, select it, and kind of put it back on the center of your object. In this case, would be my building again. You don't have to move the camera this time. All you have to do is come up here to animation. Animation constraints, path constraints, and get this little dotted line. From there, you just need to click on the circle you made. So in this case, it was circle 1, and automatically attach to it, and it'll automatically create your keys, beginning and end, down here at 0 and at the last frame, so 500. Okay, so let's go back into that camera 1 view that we set up earlier. And as you can see, there's the building itself. Now I'm going to click on that window. I'm going to hit play. Here it gives you more smooth circular motion around the building. It doesn't start and stop quite as much. It doesn't start and stop quite much. It's just smooth orbit around the object itself. Now the camera itself isn't. The constraints aren't limited to just that alone. You can also come over here and create custom paths. For this, you can do a number of things. Once again, it's create shapes. You can click on the ellipse tool, the donut tool, the star tool, any one of those things, and you can kind of do that. Another way I like to do it is hit line tool, and I like to come down here to a smooth. And this kind of gives us more of a spline line itself. So I can click there, line like that, line like that, line like that, and that'll give me a whole other path for my camera travel itself. Now, once again, it starts on the 0 level, so you have to come in and you have to move the path up to where you want it. In this case, I'll have to move it over to above the object, or however I had that before. And then I'm going to create another target camera. Didn't mean to do that. Over here, I'm going to create another target camera. Once again, focused on the building itself. And then I'm going to animation constraints, path constraints, and I'm going to select the line that I had earlier. And it should circle around the building itself. I didn't quite plan this one out near as well, so let's see what happens. It's camera 2. Let's change that down to realistic, and let's see how that looks when we hit play. Once again, the target camera is going to follow that path, and that's just a whole nother way of doing animations. Kind of, you can set up your own kind of path for that, and then it just follows along that path itself. So thank you, and look forward to giving you more tutorials.